So, oh, there we go. I was going to say the lady didn't let us know, but she says recording in progress. Right. So Marjorie, we've just been, we've just finished a session, and we'll just keep it natural. And like you say, you've got something to do after this, and I've got to go and have tea with my mum and dad before my phone starts blowing up. So just why don't you just share something about the journey that we've been on, either in recent times or over the past few years. I'll just let you go with the flow. And because I'm always forever sharing written things about what people say, but I feel what's special and what I'm really grateful about you doing this is that people can actually see a real person sharing their experience.
Yeah. I like what you said about how we first started the journey, where I started really working with you, because again, mom shows up again, right? So my mom definitely orchestrated that, because I've been watching you on and off on Facebook, and it gave me a notification you had gone live, which I was so excited about, because I never saw that before for you. I'd always caught like it here and there. So I went on your live, and you had like donate a coffee, so I clicked on that, and then you gave a reading for whoever donated the coffee, and your reading was, the number 22, I think, came up in the rose, and all those symbols from my mom who had passed. And then, that connected us, you and I, very quickly together. It was very much mom bringing me to you. And then I was booked the session with you, the intro session, and we just kept going. I mean, it was just like the stuff you did I was so drawn to you for everything you, just so humble about everything you do, and all the gifts you had. It just kept, every time I discover more about what you do, and it was just a natural relationship. I felt like we were friends, and you were looking out for the best of me, right? We were friends, and it was very quickly drawn to you and what you did, and you just helped me to grow in my spiritual gifts even more, heal parts of me that I didn't even know I needed healing. That's what I think is the best thing about you, is that you uncover the things that need to be healed in a natural way when you work with someone. It's not like you have to do these intense sessions or, intense therapy. It's very natural with you. You just naturally help people heal with being who you are. That's how I best describe how to work with you. And so when we booked this recent sessions, right, we did the group for the long period group, and then we did, like you said, the divine detox last year around this time. Was it September, you said?
September.
So we did that with the small group, and that was where we made an intention of what we wanted to detox, and a lot of that, it planted the seeds for what's happening now in my life, where right now it's a big change. After 27 years, I'm leaving my job and changing my job, and we didn't even know in this 8 sessions we were doing before that it would be that big of a change. I didn't know what was coming. I mean, I didn't have a clue that was what I needed to release.
Yeah. And that's wow, isn't it? When you say it like that. And I'm just laughing because I was saying that I can't remember where it's like, maybe, and because you'd said I could, it was like in some of those other channelings I've done, I kept saying, oh, my soul fam client leaving a job after 22 years, and then it was a bit the 22 again, the synchronicity your mom.
The 22 with my mom. Yeah,
it was today. You were like, 27. I'm like 27. I was like 22. I was like, wow.
Yeah, and it's the only job I've ever had, but it's just time to move on. It was just such a part of me, but I'm changed, and I need to move into a healthier work-life balance, and that's what you've helped bring in, is this finding the piece of me, retrieving the pieces that were lost and that were blocking me from being my best self. I'd say that's what you've helped me with the most, is all the different therapy and different modalities that we've done together have all been a different way of healing the different sides that I need to heal.
Yeah. I mean, that actually kind of, do you know what? That kind of in a nutshell, nails it. And I mean, it's, and I think as well, like, like, I love that you said that, actually. Do you know what I mean? When you said about the humble thing, because it's even that, like, I mean, you know, like, they know how honest I am. So it is kind of funny when I was like, oh, like, what, like, you know what I mean? I was kind of like, I wonder how, like, how do I start off kind of, you know, interview year? And it's like, do you know what, actually, just all I want this to be is just somebody, you know, saying what it is we've done together. And I just think it's like, the, it always humbles me, you know, to hear like how I've contributed to sort of supporting someone, and it's like it is very much it's a process, and the way in which, you know, counselling is anyway, and definitely the person-centered counselling that is the, you know, the background, and then I'll weave all the other magic and the hypnotherapy and everything else and the light codes that I do in it. It's, you know, the pioneer of the person-centered counselling, Carl Rogers. It's what he used to say is it's like there's a certain magic that happens in the therapeutic process that you just can't put your finger on. So even even before you add in the, you know, the shamanic stuff that I do in the light codes and the Reiki and the, you know, all the other stuff, person-centered counselling alone, like, you know, people do it, even people that aren't very spiritual, practically describe it as this, I don't know what happened. There's just some kind of magic happened.
Well,
So
I've had therapy years ago, and like you and I've worked together basically 2 years, right? About 2 years, something like that. Maybe almost 3. It might be almost 3.
It was August. I'll tell you when it was, because it was when I moved in here. It was August 2020. It was August 2020 or something around that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Or maybe even like in the
it was, I
September.
think.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm thinking about how like your therapy is not traditional therapy because you bring so many other tools to it, and it's just a natural interaction with you that just whatever modality we choose, like we've tried it, I think everything you do together. We've done the astrology, we've done the what's it, the soul retrieval, the chakra healing, we've done the train journey, we've done the hypnotherapy, we've done the shamanic journey, soul retrieval, I said that already, and we've done therapy sessions, which is what we just finished. And we've done everything you offer. I've been open to, and I think that's my advice to anyone who wants to work with you, is like, be open to what comes in those sessions. You don't have to have a formal thing like, we're going to do this time, because it's better if you just allow what's meant to come through for you personally, and it may be a mix of things. And I always love that the cards come in.
Well, actually, yeah, because that's a really good point. Because it's like, like you've definitely, experienced all that it is I have to offer. So you're a brilliant person to be able to, you know, to share what it is you've got from it. And it's like, as well as like, you know, the divine detox thing is, how long did we ran that for 4 weeks, so it was a month. Because that other one I done this year was meant to be 2 months. It ended up being 4 months. Again, that was an experiment with me, you know, mastering the time. But that one, I think that I preferred doing it the way we done it that time, because it was intensive. It was intense, but it was like we had, and remember, we had a dance party at the end of it. It didn't quite work because the Zoom didn't pick up the music, but it was fun. But I love what you said there about it not having, I don't know if you said the word structure, but that's true, because it's even like today when we sat down, like I was going to do something with a hypnosis script, but because you know me so well and you're so trusting of the way that I work with spirit and the way, or God, or whatever anyone wants to call it, and you know, it was that I couldn't find it. And then and then you're so trusting in me that, you know, I'm not just kind of like, oh, I can't find it. It's like, it's always meant to be, because when I'm meant to
be, whatever's meant to be comes in. Even if we have something planned, I love that you always check in and you say, does this feel right to do today? Or what are you feeling? And you always tune in with the person. And, you know, it feels very personal with you. It's not just like, okay, we're going to sit down and we're going to do this and this and this. It's very personal and tailored to the person in the exact moment you're working with them. That's what's key for you. That I think that's very unusual.
Well, it's like you saying that, because it's funny, before I forget, like, because that's what happened today with, like, I couldn't find the script, and then you were talking about decluttering and, you know, in line with your job and the balance and the, you know, the your work life and your home life and stuff, and And then the fact that I pulled Tidy House, Tidy Mind told us everything we needed to know, that whatever it was we were going to do, which was a journey with a soul retrieval, you know, would help with whatever we're going to do. But what you just said there, what just sort of flashed up my mind's eye was that week you really weren't feeling well. And it was like, you definitely weren't, I mean, that was, when was that, a month ago or something? You really, you know, you weren't well enough to do the session. But I love that your husband was in the background. And so it was like, you were sitting, and it ended up just, it was definitely, they were healing you that day through laughter. You know, and it was like, I think we only spoke for, I don't know, it was 20 minutes or 20 minutes or something. And that's really like, you know, I love that you say that, because again, it is kind of awkward to say that, but I do pride myself in that. And it's definitely not the way that most counselors would do it. And it's definitely not the way that even a lot of healers would do it. And like you say, I've, you know, experienced similar things to what I do from other people. And it's weird, like I'm kind of drawn to people that a lot of people do have really quite strict boundaries. You know what I mean? Like if you're getting a 30-minute recorded reading, it's a 30-minute video, and boom, they're ending it, you know, 25 minutes. And that's fair enough, you know, and I actually really respect and admire people that A, are able to do it, because it's hard, and B, that do that, because it's like they're very business minded. And I have got a very, you know, practical business mind, and, you know, I use my, you know, my practical and grounding qualities for listening, you know, as well as the channeling and the chatty bit. But more so, it is the more, you know, it is the more right-brained, kind of up here with the light beings and the angels and the dead folk, and the, to be blunt, and that, you know.
Well, I love that. I love that about you. And it's always humorous. I'm glad you brought up the laughter. Always laughing with you. And that's so healing. And you just bring it out of people, and you just have that lighthearted heart. And
thank you. I mean, that means the world to me, because really I always end up saying that when I do these big, change the intro every time on my, because I never used to do an intro at all when I done a Facebook Live. Remember, I just grab it and go. And that's what I tend to do. It's actually the Facebook Live really, I think, translates very well to when I do the YouTube Live. Because I just do the same thing. I just grab it and I go and I wait till people come, and that's just, it's just natural. But I laugh when I do the pre-recorded. I'm like, you know, healing's weaved into everything I do. I do this, that, and it takes like ages to say it, and then I forget the different things that I do. And it's really, I think that's what it is. It's like, because I'm that high priestess energy, it's like there's always meant to be an air of mystery to the work that I do, and the best way to really get it across, I feel, is by this. So like you say, I know I've already said it at 555, but it's, I really am grateful that you were able to share that, because it will help the people that are serious about, oh my God, I think it's, are you just, it froze on you smiling. It's like, it really will, so I might not have heard what I just said there, but I didn't, you know, basically what I'm saying is, it's like, hearing from the people that have actually worked with me gives the people that are really serious about getting that deeper healing, you know, and that they're drawn to me anyway, it gives them a good idea about the kind of things that, you know, can change.
Because when I first booked with you, I had no clue about some of the credentials you had, and it evolved over the time I worked with you. You weren't like, well, I do this and this and this. What would you like to do with me? It was just, here I am, and this is our session. It's just very refreshing.
Because that's how it actually tends to evolve for me, you know, is that although I do all these different things, that really, and you know, when you were saying you've experienced them all, what tends to happen now is, first of all, they work even faster than what they did before through me. Like, you know, the person, because that happened with the therapy, didn't it? It was like, you'd mentioned something you want to do. I was like, right, we'll do that next week. And then because you'd mentioned it and it had been aired in the session, it was like, by the time it gets to next week, oh, actually, I'm all right with that.
I've already done it. I know.
And it's kind of like, you know, and it's like, that's what's going to be amazing about my other soul fam client. I mean, I'm thinking I'm going to get her to share this week if she can, or at some point, that the same sort of stuff happened. She'd mention it and then it was healed before it even happened. So,
like the job, we were going to manifest the job, and by the time we were going to manifest the job, I'd already manifested it.
Yeah. And the thing is like, I said to you at the time, I feel it's because I remember you mentioned it way back in 2020. Maybe it wasn't so much, but that was other stuff. And then but it was somewhere, so maybe even like last year. And
I think it was
like,
last year,
you know, you were close to it, But it's a bit like that card I pulled there that said something like back, oh look, I've just picked up travel and letting go when I said that, as you're traveling and letting go of a job. But it's like the one that said back and forth, because I think loads of people resonate with that. It was like you were in that back and forth energy of this is
Yeah,
my
because even
character.
earlier this year, I was thinking in May, I was thinking about leaving. So
Yeah.
it's been in pieces where I felt like leaving.
And that's where it's like, although I wasn't doing therapy with you at that point, because you're always sort of in some sort of process of me doing a session when you need, like I say, you are a rarity in the fact that when you need a session and you'll just get that feeling from spirit and you just book it. And I love that because it's great for me because I'm getting, clients, but it's more the fact that it's good that you recognize when you need support, because it's
Right.
like and even there we spoke about that that because of that balance in the masculine and the feminine thing, like even you didn't know that was going to help you honor your feminine energy more. You know what I mean? It's like, and this
Right.
is what this is what a lot of people have said on the YouTube lives there, is that even just through watching my free stuff on the YouTube, is that they're all noticing how they're like, oh yeah, like wow, I wasn't honoring my feminine energy and now I am. So do you know what I mean? It's that's what I love too,
Definitely a different place. And when I started working with you, I don't even think there was something very specific. I just knew I was meant to work with you because of how easy it was to find you and just be drawn to you. And like, I just knew that you would help me, and I didn't even know what I needed help with.
And I think that's it. Like, you see, that's the key thing.
I trusted the universe.
Yeah, because with a shaman, like, the thing I always say is, because that's the main thing of all the different things that I do, because shamans always love to do different bobs of everything. It's the ones that I know, I'm particularly like really love a lot of stuff, but it's like you just need to trust the pull. If you're drawn to someone, I know you need to go, don't you? It's like if you're drawn to someone, you need to trust that. So I think that's the thing that we could leave people with. Is if you keep getting drawn to me in particular, trust that. Start somewhere. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't go back and forth overwhelming yourself.
Yeah, especially if they're watching you over and over again, there's a reason they're pulled to you.
Yeah. But yes, well, I know you need to go, and I feel you have actually, you've shared what I feel would really help people. And like you say, I just love you to absolute pieces, and everybody I've ever introduced you to online, because obviously that's how I know everybody in my life pretty much, apart from folk that I've known a long time. Everybody just adores you, and I love that. I always find it hilarious that when you shared when I've done the first challenge a couple of years ago, it's so funny that I'm such a little hermit and a recluse and love to be alone, but I am really good at bringing people together. There's that as well. So but no, I love watching how you've grown, and confidence and self-worth and self-love, and I love you like said, I particularly just loved, that other week there when your husband was in the background, because it's like he will have heard about me and that, and and you'd said that you're like, God, he noticed how much you made me laugh and lifted my spirits.
Right. Yeah. My spirit said thank you.
I love that.
Thank you. I love you too. I love everything we do together. It's always a joy. So
yes, no, and again, Marjorie honestly you heal me back, just your company, your energy, and of course you do the the Reiki and everything and that as well. And I just love that your spiritual side is just blooming, and there's so much more to come from that. So
thank you.
I'm going to end this here. It's bloody freezing in this room, so thank you very much for sharing that, and I'll stop the. Do you know what? I'm laughing. I'm laughing that I filmed it vertical, because I don't know how that'll translate on YouTube. I'm like, oh, I'll work it out. But I'll just press stop now. So thank you. Right.